So this recording is going to sound pretty shitty because I have an AudioBox USB, which is an interface. It's an audio interface made by PreSonus. Yeah, it's pretty bad, but I'm just gonna have to work with what I have. So I hope that you can see past, or not really see, but hear past. Put your ears a little bit less sensitive to the white noise that you hear in the background. But today I just wanted to talk about what's been going on with me. So basically, I know you've all been dying to figure out what happened with the whole dead man suggestions, and long story short, or short story short, nothing happened. I didn't get any feedback from Jagex. I submitted the video to a couple other YouTubers, and they didn't give me any feedback. And as far as I know, they didn't do anything with Jagex moderators either. So it basically fell flat. Now for me, that's a little upsetting. A little, well, I mean, not anymore, but I mean, it's still kind of disappointing because I worked like probably a week and a half straight on that. It may not seem like it took that long, but the fact of the matter is I did work for like a week and a half on that. So it was a bit disappointing to find out that that entire time was just kind of wasted. I submitted it to Reddit as well, and the two comments were pretty good quality comments. You know, the first comment to come out was don't need your suggestions. I hear that a lot within the RuneScape community is don't need blank. You know, like if you comment, if you criticize somebody, or if you criticize the community and you make a comment about it, someone is guaranteed going to respond to your comment saying, don't need your comment, don't need your suggestion. And I don't really understand that sort of mentality because I never stated that you needed it. But anyways, the other comment was, I mean, it was an actual comment. I think the guy was a bit misdirected, but it was like an actual, like, it was a comment, you know, it was like a legitimate comment. And I think the reason why the guy was a bit misdirected was because of the fact that I was pretty harsh on Rod in that video. I was actually, yeah, I was pretty harsh. And I think just clans in general. So I think he was a part of Rot when he saw that. I mean, I didn't really think about this in my head because there's a lot of people in Rot. Like the amount of people that were in Rot in the Deadman Invitational was like a substantial amount. Number one, number two, that's not all of Rot. So I kind of underestimated, or I didn't really like think about how my composition would really affect uh that part of the community. But anyways, yeah, he basically said, you know, that he disagreed with the fact that I needed to break up clans, even though that's like 70% of the criticism I hear. Besides the you know, just fog criticisms, those are kind of like placeholder criticisms. Like everybody has those criticisms about the fog, but other than that, the biggest thing I hear is like clans and how it kind of ruins the whole environment of a tournament because the size of the clan isn't controlled. So the tournament basically becomes who has the bigger clan, essentially. So yeah, the comment just basically said that it was too close to last man standing, even though I gave explicit reasons why having it more like last man standing would be a good idea. But at least it was a comment, you know, because I don't get people in the RuneScape community. They're like the weirdest bunch I've ever seen. They're like out of the loop but in the loop at the same time. Like they'll know about like internet trends, like these really shitty memes and whatever, but they won't know, like, besides like the really shitty memes, like, you know, fucking Pepe and whatever. Like they don't really seem to have any sort of knowledge about like any other internet trend. Like for instance, like I'll mention Anthony Fantano, who is a music critic, and like nobody will understand, but in the next moment will post a sad Pepe, whatever. It's weird. I think that they're sort of like the Twitter normals, I guess. You know, the people who find out memes from either Facebook or Twitter, and so they feel like they're sort of in the loop because of that. But I mean, they're getting like the tail end of like, whatever shit tier meme that you see on the internet. You know, SpongeGar or whatever. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, more taking shots at the RuneScape community. Yeah, it's like the worst community that I've seen thus far in terms of games. I mean, I've been playing League of Legends for I don't know what 4 years or so, and I've never really seen the concentration of cancer that I've seen in the RuneScape community. It's really it's profound how much negativity and how much shit there is from the people who play this game, and that blows my mind because League of Legends is inherently a competitive game. You're constantly fighting another person or the other team. So of course it's going to be super competitive, and so it's going to be like it's going to be a super high stress environment. So that's why people would get toxic, or they would start acting pretty not good with other people. But RuneScape is an MMO, and it's an old MMO at that, and it returned, like old school RuneScape returned. So you would think that this game, or the people who are playing this game, would be like pretty chill. It's a pretty, like, RuneScape is a pretty chill game, right? Like, you're not obligated to do anything within the game. Like, you're completely free to do whatever you want. The only stress you may get in the game is completely self-imposed. Like, you go out PKing, or you go and fight a super high level monster and then you die, or whatever. But other than that, there's nothing really to stress about within the game. So it's kind of weird how a high stress game seems to have a marginally better environment than a low stress game does. And it's not just me saying this either. Like, I can talk shit all I want about the RuneScape community, but I'm not the one who's saying it. There was a streamer a while back, I forgot his name. He streams super infrequently, or at least what I see is pretty infrequent. He's like the only black guy. Anyway, so he was featured in an old school RuneScape video, like the official old school channel, and he was screaming into his microphone because he completed Jad for the first time, which, is obviously way more important and way more feature worthy than, working a pretty high production video, trying to help out the community. Bravo to this man for yelling into the microphone. I'm sure he deserved that feature very much. Thank you, Jagex. But anyway, so that streamer is who I'm talking about. Like, if you don't know who I'm talking about, you can go to the official RuneScape channel on YouTube, and you'll probably find him pretty easily. But anyways, I literally just watched his stream for about 3 minutes or so, and what he said was, I really enjoy the RuneScape community because of how nice and kind the people are, and it's really refreshing to see all these people who are so nice in a video game. And I mean, of course he would say that because he's a streamer and he gets streamer favoritism, and everybody treats him like a god, even though he's literally just some guy who's talking into a microphone like I am. As soon as he said that, the chat spammed, not a single person, but like everyone just spammed the chat with nice, nice question mark, because they know how horrible the community is. So any criticisms I have of this community does not come from me. But anyways, trying to finish up my last point of making this video is what I wanted to do with this channel, and because I think that if I actually talk, or if I verbally mention it, then I'd feel a little bit more obligated to actually start having a schedule or having something to do. I'm in college now. I'm trying to get a job as well, but I want to do something that I think is fun, and I really do like making RuneScape videos or whatever. But anyways, so the reason why I wanted to start this channel, there were two big reasons, and the smaller reason was that, to be honest, I wanted to make a little bit of money off of it. I mean, I didn't really want to get a job. It wasn't because I'm lazy. It's just because I hate getting an application and filling it out and getting an interview, and then I feel like I'm tied to this job by my application. It's weird. I've had 2 jobs where I basically didn't even have to apply. I from a friend, I got the job because they recommended me or something, and so they just hired me on the spot. So I mean, I've had it easy in that regard, and I never really had a problem with applications. It wasn't until late in my senior year when I started really hating them for some reason. I was fighting tooth and bone during high school to get a job because I hated school and I just wanted something to, make a little bit of extra money so I can start paying for extra stuff and keep my mind off of school and whatnot. But so yes, I did kind of want to start uploading because of the fact that I did want to make a small amount of money. I'm not gonna. I never thought that I could make like a living off of this. I never like even like. I mean, I kind of like humored the idea of like, oh, the big YouTubers like Spark and Bodhi, they make a literal living off of RuneScape because of their Twitch streaming. And even now it's like when I started like getting into YouTube again, I realized, wow, this is not going to work out at all. So I started a second channel, and that's why I haven't really been posting on that much to see if that would take off, and it didn't. And I realized I hated doing it too, so I just pretty much stopped it. I decided to start making more videos. I mean, it wasn't like the reason why I stopped making videos wasn't because I wasn't making money off of it, because of the fact that my channel wasn't progressing like at all. The only times I ever got subscribers, one was it was because of the two Dead Man videos where I posted, and I got like five subscribers off of that. But like those videos didn't really take that much effort. Like they took a couple, maybe a day or two's worth of editing, and that was it. I mean, it wasn't like super high maintenance. Whereas my quest guide shit, those take days to make. Like they actually take a really long amount of time because I want to trim each video to make it as short as possible, but not take off too much or leave too much. Just overall making it as concentrated and as full of content as possible. But yeah, and it was like days worth of work, and I'd be getting like 6 views or something. And like I thought about it, and I thought these 6 views may not even be from people who actually like play RuneScape or play video games for that matter. It could literally just be like some guy in the Middle East or some South, people play in South America, but it may be somebody in the world who doesn't even know what the hell is going on, especially because those videos were like 6 minutes long, and I looked at my analytics and it showed that the average watch time was like a minute or like 30 seconds or something. So those 6 views were like from people who didn't even know what was going on in the video. So it was super discouraging when I posted like the fourth quest guide, and nothing was happening. I wasn't getting a single subscriber. It was stuck at the same amount of views, and it was weird. It was hard to find a reason to really like continue making those kind of videos. But regardless, I do still want to be making more videos. They're just fun, and this brings me to my second reason, which is the biggest reason, and that's simply because of the fact that I really do love this game. I mean, I started making RuneScape videos, or if you could really call them RuneScape videos, but I started uploading a RuneScape video when I was in like 6th or 7th grade or something, or maybe even 5th grade. I don't even remember. And I was so happy that I made a RuneScape video. Like, I remember as soon as I posted the video on YouTube and it was, public, I went to my mom and I told her, hey, I'm a YouTuber now. And I was just super pumped for that. And nowhere in my mind did I ever think that you could actually make money off of YouTube or anything. For me, it was just always something like a hobby to do, because back in the old days, like when you would upload to YouTube, you weren't even thinking about like views or money or anything. You were solely doing it just to have fun. So that's something that's a big reason why. That was the biggest reason why I started making this channel again. I mean, I'm not making any money like off of this at all. So I'm not doing it for money. I make like 2 cents out of like all of my videos. So it's not like I'm continuing with these videos because I want money. It's solely because of the fact that I just want to make these videos. So that's why I'm trying to keep a schedule again, because again, like, this is a hobby, and I don't want to make it like a job or like have it like a rigorous schedule. So if I'm not posting on a schedule, I'm sorry, but I just don't want to like force myself to do something when I don't want to do it, if this is just a hobby. So yeah, I mean, to be honest, I would be lucky if I were to get 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, because the type of videos that I want to be making from now on, I want to change it up a bit, and I want to start making commentary videos over RuneScape, and I'll probably just do like easy or medium clue scrolls like in the background as like visual stuff, but over just like commentary about like things that have happened in my life, stories that I want to share, things like that. And the second thing that I want to do is I want to start doing let's plays. I know those are beaten to like they're more beaten than a dead horse. I mean, these types of videos have been out on YouTube for so long and they're so overdone, and I realize that. So when I mean let's play, I mean like playing games that I really enjoy playing, and they're just good games in general, and I'm going to edit them. Especially the first series I want to do is the Portal series, cuz that was honestly like that's probably still one of my favorite games that I've ever played. And obviously that's a puzzle game, and I'm not just going to like upload I'm not going to just like play the game for like an hour and then just chop those up into like 6-10 minute videos and just call it a day. I actually want to like upload like record about an hour and then cut it up and then like edit them so that like I'll actually have a pretty condensed version, because I know I'm not going to be playing the game like a speed run or anything like that. So in between like the uploads of just a regular let's play thing, I'm gonna be uploading hopefully commentaries and or probably not, but maybe PKing videos. I think I mentioned a little bit before, but I don't PK at all. I'm a horrible PKer. So if I were to upload a PKing video, it would probably just be like me failing. And I mean, I don't know if people enjoy watching those types of videos. I used to, but yeah, it would basically be like me risking probably like 200k or something and probably losing it like every time. So if you guys want to see that, it would be great if you guys can like leave a comment or anything, or just rate the video when it comes out. That would be great. But other than that, oh sorry, last point. Actually, not last point. When I said I'm doing this for money, when I meant that, I meant like because I wanted a new or I mean I still want. I wanted to get a new computer because of the fact that my computer is garbage. It's trash. Like it is on its last limb. My disk is probably gonna kill itself soon. My disk drive. So and like my CPU isn't like it's not slowing down, but it's just like as programs auto update and like they just improve, they just take up more and more performance space, which my current setup is horrible. I mean, my current setup cannot handle that, because right now my specs, my gaming specs, my gamer bro specs, are basically it's a 6-year-old computer. It's got like a 6 or 7 or maybe even like an 8-year-old processor. It's an AMD Phenom quad core. It's like a AMD Phenom X4 840T, I believe. It's got like 6 gigs of RAM, which is really weird. It's got 3 sticks of 2 gigabytes. I've never really seen that, but it really should be 8, especially because I'm editing videos. That's like the biggest reason why I want to upgrade, is because editing is just so tedious with a slow computer. I did get a new graphics card. It's a EVGA 650 Ti, so it's okay. But newer games, it's horrible. I don't really need a new graphics card. It's just I need to upgrade my processor. I need to get more RAM. Those are the two biggest things. I also do want to get a SSD, because from my experience, Premiere uses a pretty high disk usage, because I mean it makes sense, because you're literally streaming from your hard disk. So I understand why it would use that, but yeah, but the thing is, if I want a new processor, I would have to get a new motherboard. That new processor and the motherboard would eat up more power, which means I'd have to get a new power supply. And if I were to get a new power supply, it would basically mean that I would have to get a new case. I'm pretty sure I'd have to get a new case, even with just the motherboard alone. I don't think these new motherboards are compatible with my old case, and I really wouldn't want to. I just realized that I looked at my case and there's no fans on the front, and like every single good PC case has fans on the front, and it was not made for cooling at all. But yeah, I mean, new RAM would cost a ton of money, a new processor would cost a ton of money, a new motherboard would cost a ton of money. Power supply would cost a pretty decent amount. PC case would cost a decent amount. So, I mean, at that point, you might as well just go all out for a new computer. I've come up with the numbers for how much it would cost, and it would cost $3,000. So I was hoping that over time, making RuneScape videos would at least help with that amount. But yeah, it's not happening anytime soon. My dream build is to get a AMD Summit Ridge, which everybody calls it Ryzen. It's not Ryzen. That's the micro architecture, the desktop CPUs. The highest processor they have is called, or it's nicknamed Summit Ridge or SR7, but everybody just calls it Ryzen for some reason. I don't know why. SR7 or Summit Ridge processor, which would cost about $500. A new motherboard because the processor requires an AM4, and my motherboard currently is an AM3. That would probably cost $200 or $300, probably $200. I'd have to get new RAM because that motherboard would require DDR4, and I only have DDR3. I would need a new power supply because I guarantee you everything would eat up more. I mean, the fact that my computer hasn't like restarted every single day because the lack of power from the power supply is honestly kind of astonishing for me. So I wouldn't have to get a new power supply. I would guarantee you would have to get a new case. I mean, that's not like it's $70 or $80 for a new case. It's not a big problem. And I mean, the dream would be to get an AMD Vega, get the stack of AMD Summit Ridge and AMD Vega. That would be my dream build. But that would just the processor and the graphics card alone would cost $1,000. Just those two things, like the case fans, the RAM, the power supply, the motherboard, the case. Oh, like peripheral stuff. Would probably cost another $1,000 or close to another $1,000, probably about $700 or $800. So it's about $2,000. And my dream is to replace my two monitors, my two insanely cheap Acer monitors. They were like one of them I got new for like $100, and the other one I got used for like $70. I hopefully replace those two with a ultra wide curved monitor. That would be my dream build, which would cost about $3,000. So yeah. I'm living with my parents still. So if I get a job, then all of the money from my job would basically be going towards simple living expenses and the computer, which, I mean, if I'm making like $1,000 a month, then I'd basically be able to afford the computer within 3 or 4 months. So yep, that's where I'm going right now. But other than that, yeah, I will be hopefully keeping up with my upload schedule. I just haven't been around my microphone a lot, so I haven't been motivated to make videos if I'm not around my microphone. But yeah, I'll probably be uploading a Peking video actually probably like tomorrow, to be honest, because the tournament worlds are open, so it's like my one shot at high risk without really the risk at all. So yeah, it's gonna be a fail video. Like, don't expect me to play like super competitively or anything. It's just a casual video. So anyways, thank you for watching. I know this was a super long video, but if you did watch all the way through, I would appreciate it if you could rate the video, and if you guys could comment, that would be also really fantastic. I really do appreciate your guys' feedback, and if you do want to see more, you can smack that subscribe button. Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye.